I was reminded this morning of a question I'm often asked. How do you eliminate fear from your life? And you know, I don't think you ever do. I think you become courageous. You see, courageous people are not people without fear. Courageous people are people that face the things they fear. There's no courage without fear. Whenever you go to do something that you've never done before, fear is going to step in. Now, some people are afraid of flying. People are afraid of different things that can make them very, very uncomfortable. If they don't get over that fear, well, I was afraid of flying. One day I was flying somewhere, and I wasn't very comfortable. I was sitting in the plane. There was a guy sitting beside me. He was very laid back, reading one leg up over the other, reading his newspaper. And we hit some rough weather. I'm going to tell you, it got turbulent. That plane was bouncing all over the place. This guy's there holding his paper, and he never skipped a breath. I was gripping onto the seats, and he just kept reading. When the flight finally smoothed out, I looked over at him, and I hadn't even spoken to him up until that point, and I said, "Pardon me, how come you weren't scared back there?" He smiled and he said, "Well," he said, "I fly these things. In fact, I train people to fly these things." I said, "You know, I can't understand why this plane doesn't fall right out of the sky. I mean, why it doesn't go straight down." He started to laugh and he said, "You can fly a rock if you've got enough thrust behind it." When he said that, I could see myself throwing a rock. And the rock was flying. You never think of a rock flying when you throw it, but the rock was flying. As long as there's thrust, the rock will fly. Then I got to thinking there's millions of pounds of thrust in these big engines. And you know something? I've never been uncomfortable since. If we're afraid of something, it's because we don't understand it. Fear is caused by ignorance, the unknown. But when you understand it, you know, fear leaves. Go study the principle of flight. See how the air is wrapped around the wings. It's wrapped around the wings. It holds the plane up there. Don't permit fear to control your life. Absolutely refuse to. Someone said, "Fear knocked on the door, faith opened it, and there was no one there." You see, you eliminate fear through intelligent action. Face the thing you fear, and fear will leave you. I won't permit fear to control my life, not even for 5 minutes. I used to let fear control me all the time, almost all the time. Fear is caused by the unknown. If there's something you're afraid of, go study it, understand it. Talk to someone who's a professional in that particular area. But for goodness sake, don't let it control your life anymore. Think of the people that are afraid to go into their own business. They're afraid to move to the place they'd really like to go. They're afraid to ask the girl or the guy for a date. What are they doing? Their life is drying up. It's shrinking. We're only here for a short time. Make it a good time. Get rid of the fear. Face it. It's by Proctor. Thank you.